Local businesses came out of the closet today at the first LGBTI business summit held in Johannesburg. They highlighted the strong need to open up new business and economic empowerment opportunities for the LGBTI community. Luiz De Barros from the Plus Working Group joins us now for more on how the day played out. A very good evening to you, Luiz. Let's begin firstly with the question of why such a summit is necessary in the first place.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I think it's absolutely necessary. The LGBTI community has been marginalized for decades in South Africa, and that directly affects their ability to participate in the economy. It affects them as employees. It affects them as business owners, entrepreneurs. So this is an attempt to try and address that.
So how were the discussions? I mean, discussions around business and empowerment aren't new as far as the empowerment of black people, the empowerment of women in this country is concerned. But how do you then take those very conversations and then frame them to suit an LGBTI audience?
Well, I think the conversations are similar in a way. I think the principles are the same. At the end of the day, we want to be treated equally. We want to be represented in business, in the economy. And so today was really about talking about strategies to try and accomplish that. It was also an opportunity for us to network with each other and to learn more about what we do.
Do we have data that proves just how LGBTI people have been disadvantaged and perhaps been left out of economic activity in this country purely based on their sexual orientation?
I'm not aware of data that shows that or evidence that shows that, but I think it's visible in terms of the fact that, and it's well documented, that LGBTI people are discriminated and marginalized in every other aspect of life. We are thrown out of our homes when we're children. We are bullied and discriminated against in schools. We are murdered. So that, and the reality is we know as a community that we cannot always be ourselves. We cannot function as full human beings in society and in business. We have to kind of play a role that is not us. And when you're not authentic, when you cannot be yourself, you cannot be as successful as other people are.
And given those very challenges, how then do you, as the organizers and the people who attended today's summit, intend to move forward in terms of the work that needs to happen between summits? Because it's one thing to meet today in Johannesburg and say, these are our issues, here's what we plan to do, but a lot of work has to happen between now and maybe next year's gathering.
Absolutely. And I think, as an organization, we have conferences throughout the country, smaller mini summits, let's say, in different regions where we bring together LGBTI entrepreneurs and LGBTI businesses, and we help them network with each other. And one of the core functions of Plus is about empowerment. It's about training. It's about mentoring. It's about helping entrepreneurs get the skills and find how they can actually succeed and how they can grow as businesses.
I'd imagine there's also a lot of encouragement for LGBTI people to also do business amongst themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, I think any community, especially marginalized communities, networking is vital. Networking is important. So, if we can support each other, then why not?
Speak, Luiz, then about making this, you spoke about representation, and I'm interested in how you have gone about making these summits as inclusive as possible, and I'm referring across the LGBTI community spectrum as well as across social classes, because there's also that sense of division in the community itself.
Absolutely. And so today, for example, I mean, absolutely, our event was in Sandton. It was amongst the corporate headquarters. But at the same time, the issues we looked at were things like trade unions. What role can they play in terms of making the workplace a safer and a more inclusive place? And a lot of our focus is on employees and how employees can be accepted and included within their workplace.
Heterosexual people are the majority in this country and elsewhere in the world. Did they play any role at all at today's gathering, or were they just there to maybe take in what actual LGBTI people were saying are the challenges and the situation on the ground?
I think both. They were there both to support and also to play a part and to listen, but also to give their input. The reality is we all work together as a society, as a community, as we should. We don't always. So, it's not a matter of excluding, it's about including.
Luiz De Barros, thank you so much for coming on to NewsHour. That was Luiz De Barros. He is from the Plus Working Group, speaking to us about the first LGBTI business summit that was held here in Johannesburg on Tuesday.